Hi. Welcome to channel Educate Yourself. Today episode talking about top 10 bizarre people you will refuse to believe are real. Number 10. Pear-shaped. We've already seen the woman with the largest hips, 8 feet wide, remember? But having large hips isn't nearly as unbelievable as this woman's condition. Mandy Sellers was born with a mutation that has forced her legs to keep growing long after her initial growth spurt during her child and teenage years. Mandy's condition is the same condition that the historic Elephant Man suffered. Unfortunately, Mandy had to undergo an operation 5 years ago to amputate one of her legs after it became infected. At the time of the surgery, one of Mandy's legs weighed a whopping 40 pounds. Number 9. How's the weather? If you're tall, chances are pretty good that one of your shorter friends has asked, "How's the weather up there?" If truth be told, most of us would love to be a little taller to earn a bit more respect as we tower over our peers, even our competitors. 31-year-old Sultan Kosin of Turkey probably wishes, however, that he could be at least a foot shorter. Currently known as the tallest man in the world, Kosin's head reaches just below a basketball rim as he towers at a skyscraper height of 8 feet, 3 inches tall. Can you imagine the size of his feet? With his dunking abilities, someone should hurry up and get this guy an NBA deal. Stat. Number 8. Tiny Tim. From the tallest person in the world to the shortest, meet Chandra Bahadur Dangy. Dangy is the closest thing in the world to the Ant-Man as he registers in at a teeny tiny 19 inches tall, or short, as the case may be. This 75-year-old resident from Nepal has faced countless challenges due to his lack of height, but still manages to live an active lifestyle. We can't help but think that he must feel like one of the kids off of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Who knows? Maybe he's the perfect star to fill a spot in the Avengers. You never know. Number 7. Tiny Tina. Dangy might be the shortest person in the world at a staggering 19 inches short, but the title of the shortest woman in the world goes to Jodie Amge. Jodie has actually received quite a bit of fame from her smallness as she starred in the season of American Horror Story, Freak Show, alongside Emma Roberts. Jodie actually suffers from a disease known as achondroplasia, which has limited her ability to grow. She stands at only 24.7 inches tall, but, despite being tiny, she certainly has accomplished far more than many of us ever will in terms of Hollywood stardom. Number 6. Beefcake. Who hasn't packed on a little weight at one time or another? Most of the time, holiday seasons, vacations and trips to grandma's house cause us to add a little fluff. With muffin tops and juicy booties, people typically gain 15 to 20 pounds. Okay, so maybe it's more, but we'll leave that alone so we can enjoy that last donut. But, can you imagine gaining that amount of weight 100 times? Meet Patrick Duell, who is the heaviest man in the world and has been dubbed as the half-ton man. A resident of Nebraska, Duell has weighed in at over 1,100 pounds. Having recently undergone surgery, he lost over half of his weight, dropping to a staggering 570 pounds. With some positive motivation to the tune of Eye of the Tiger, we have no doubt that skinny jeans are in his future. Number 5. Pierced. Today, it's not uncommon to see someone with tattoos covering their entire body. It's also fairly common to see individuals with piercings all over their face. But, how much is too much and how extreme is too extreme? Take a look at Rolf Buchholz, a 55-year-old native of Germany who holds the Guinness World Record for the most body piercings. Part of Rolf's face is actually being suspended by his piercings. Despite the extreme pain that he has endured to ensure his record-breaking endeavors do not go unnoticed, he remains completely unfazed and crazy, if you ask us. Rolf definitely takes no pain, no gain, to the human body's limit. Number 4. The Smurf. From fad diets to medicinal trends that many claim to have great results, this living Smurf has taken the idea of a fad to an entirely new level. Paul Carson, the living blue man pictured here, began taking colloidal silver decades ago to alleviate a skin condition which, ironically, caused an eternal skin condition by transforming his entire body into a bluish-gray hue. The FDA banned silver as a medical treatment long ago, clearing shelves across the nation. Unfortunately, Paul must have missed the memo or heard the news far too late. One thing is for sure, if he ever needs a job, we're positive he'd be a hit with the Blue Man Group. Number 3. Barbie. With the popularity of social media, stories of living Barbies circulate news feeds weekly as many women seek their claim to fame as the living version of the doll. Following similar suit, Valeria Lukyanova has done everything possible to transform herself into a living, breathing Barbie doll. Valeria is truly a Barbie girl in her own Barbie world and has undergone countless surgeries, not to mention spending endless hours at the gym to maintain her figure. Despite the resemblance, we imagine that this Barbie's life may be far from the fairy tale she hoped, at least not until she finds a Malibu mansion and her very own version of Kentucky Number 2. The hair up there. From shaving and waxing, men and women go to great lengths to tame their body hair, and for good reason. While many of us complain about the amount of body hair we have and the hassles of shaving, our pain is nothing compared to Yu Zhenhuan. Hailing from China, Yu has channeled his inner cousin, having been named the hairiest person in the world with more than 95% of his body covered in hair. Obviously, Yu doesn't bother spending time or money on razors or waxing. Of course, we can't imagine the amount of shampoo and conditioner he needs to tame all of that frizz. Number 1. Tatted up. We've met the person who holds the title of having the most piercings in the world, but what about tattoos? Julie Agnes is a living work of art as more than 95% of her body is covered in tattoos. Why so many? Agnes was extremely embarrassed by her skin condition and decided that, rather than be stared at because of her imperfections, she could be the center of conversation with head-to-toe tattoos. A real regular at the ink parlor, to say the least, Agnes has regained the confidence needed to walk openly in public again, an epic twist of Shyamalan proportions. Thank you for watching video. Please click subscribe for more.